Used to think the worst part of those dinners was the food going cold while everyone admired something new. This time it was my sister's car. She angled her phone so the badge caught the light. "I have a Porsche," she said, casual but precise, the way people say things they've practiced hearing out loud. My father leaned back, satisfied. He likes visible success, things you can park in a driveway. "And you?" she asked me, still taking the bus. A small laugh followed, not cruel enough to protest, just enough to establish position. I checked my watch. It wasn't a dramatic gesture. I had a schedule. Weather windows are narrow, pilots don't circle forever. Dad smirked at my silence. "Pathetic," he said, not loudly, just firmly. A verdict, not an insult. This house, I had always been the one who left early, worked late, didn't explain much. No photos, no showroom shine. Used to defend myself. Talk about contracts, partnerships, long-term equity. It never translated. If it couldn't idle in the driveway, count. The sound began as a vibration through the glassware. My sister paused mid-sentence. "What is that?" No one answered. The low mechanical rhythm grew steadier, deliberate. Outside, a dog barked. A neighbor's door opened. My phone buzzed against the table. Let it ring once before picking up.
"Yes."
The voice was calm, procedural. "Mom, your private chopper is approaching. We have clearance to land. 2 minutes out!" There it was. Not a boast. Not an announcement. Just logistics. I stood. My father's expression shifted first to confusion, then calculation. "Chopper," he repeated, as if testing the word for sarcasm. "Have a site inspection," I said. "It's remote." The windows trembled slightly now. The rotor wash hadn't reached us yet, but it would. Curtains across the street fluttered. The air outside changed shape. My sister moved to the front door before anyone told her to. When she opened it, the sound flooded the house, controlled, official, undeniable. Not fantasy, not rented for effect, cleared airspace. Pilot in uniform stepping out onto our uneven lawn with the patience of someone who bills by the hour. Dad followed her out. I walked behind them. The helicopter descended with practiced precision, flattening the grass he'd once scolded me for not mowing properly. The irony wasn't lost on me. The pilot approached, resting against his collar. "Good evening, Miss Khan," he said, offering a nod that carried more respect than the entire dinner had. "We're right on schedule. On schedule. Not lucky, not flashy, structured." My father's face had gone pale, but not theatrically so. It was the look of a man re-sorting data. The hierarchy he understood, car equals success, bus equals failure, had just failed him. "You own that?" my sister asked. "Charter regularly," I replied, which was true. Ownership wasn't the point. Access was. Dad tried to recover. "Why didn't you say something?" I looked at him for a long moment. There were 100 honest answers. "Because you don't listen. Because I was tired of auditioning for approval. Because silence was easier than arguing with a scoreboard you invented." "Instead," I said, "you didn't ask." The pilot waited a respectful distance away. No rush. Authority doesn't hurry for validation. The wind intensified as the blades adjusted speed. My sister stepped back, shielding her hair. Dad remained where he was, stubborn even against physics. "I'll be back late," I added. Not an apology, not a warning, just information. As I climbed in, caught my reflection in the curved glass, steady, composed. Not triumphant, if anything a little tired. The helicopter lifted cleanly, house shrinking beneath us. From above, the Porsche looked small. So did the street. So did the idea that worth could be measured in what sat in front of a garage. I didn't feel victorious. I felt confirmed. Below, My father stood in a yard pressed flat by something he hadn't anticipated. He wasn't humiliated. He was confronted with the possibility that he'd misjudged the quiet child. Whether he would adjust, I didn't know. The city unfolded ahead, blinking in ordered patterns. The pilot's voice came through the headset, steady and professional, outlining our route. On the ground, the power dynamic had shifted in a single, unmistakable moment. In the air, it settled into something quieter. Had never needed them to see me to build what I built. But now they had.